Mitchell runs this Sprinter. It's just a little over a year old. And well, I'm going to let Mitchell tell you about his experience with it. He's the first guy to ever drive this unit, and what his impressions are. So Mitch, what would you like to tell us?
So the first thing that I like about the Sprinter is how compact everything is. I used to drive a truck that was probably 3 times as big, and this thing can do everything that truck did, minus 400 gallons.
Okay.
But it's still, very compact and very easy to use. It doesn't take much to learn how to use it. Once someone goes over with you, which how to direct the water through it, it's pretty much common sense. And I like the reservoir is good. You don't feel it. Even when it's full, the van is still very stable, going at normal speeds around turns.
Okay,
and
so you have a 400-gallon tank.
yes, a 400-gallon reservoir.
It's a pretty
tank.
tall tank.
Yeah.
You use that as a nurse tank only, or do you use that for applications also?
No, I only use it for a nurse tank, and then we mix everything in the 80-gallon and the 250 gallons.
Okay, so you have a 45-gallon-a-minute electric transfer pump.
Yes.
So that's what you use to transfer water out of your 400-gallon nurse tank, and it's
Yes.
very fast.
Yeah.
So you can fill those tanks in 2 minutes or less.
Yeah, it's very quick. That, or you can switch it to the motor, which is nice. If anything happens to the battery, you can always switch it to the motor, and that's good to use as well. That's pretty quick too.
So this has a 35-gallon-a-minute pump with a 700 psi and a 22 horsepower Honda engine.
Yep.
So what kind of tree height can you get out of that 35-gallon-a-minute diaphragm pump?
So the biggest tree that we're able to really spray is probably about, you can probably reach almost the tops of these ones behind me here, which is about, I want to say 60, 70 feet possibly.
Okay.
So it gets up there pretty good once you turn the pressure, to its max. And so it's good. I like it.
Getting around town with this unit, how do you like its drivability and its accessibility?
It's so much easier than using a big rig. You can actually park now. Like the truck that I used to have was it was an international. I think it was like 3300 or so. It was a big truck, and it's hard in DC or some places in Virginia or even Maryland. There's small neighborhoods you can't really park it. So this is much easier to get around in the small cities and small spots.
Okay.
Plus we have a backup camera in the back, and that makes parking and maneuvering around certain things much easier too, because you can just look in your screen and know exactly where your back end's at, and you don't have to worry about hitting anything or getting out and looking for yourself, because usually you're on your own when you're spraying. So
Sure.
It's nice to have that the camera in the back there.
Oftentimes storage is a real problem on spray trucks. Even some big spray trucks like the 3300 that you were driving probably
Right.
didn't have near as much storage as this have. What
Right.
can you tell us about the storage on this Sprinter?
It's got a little bit of light. So I can fit 15 to 20 bags down here. I
Okay.
can fit my spreader, all my tools.
So you have a
that I
push
need.
spreader that you take with you to do your soil amendments and so forth?
Yes, sir. And all this is the reel is very compact, and then like I said, I have my shelf here, also with a fridge, nice for cooling your beverages, or if you're doing organic.
Your beneficials?
Yeah, your beneficials. Thank you. And it's very nice. I like it a lot.
There's also storage around the edge, I see, so you can hang various tools and
Yes. Yeah.
various things that you use.
Yeah, and you can always change that out for like
Another shelf?
another shelf like this
Uh-huh.
if you wanted to. We have a vent up here for when you're mixing stinky chemicals. But usually if you just open up the doors and the back, it's got enough draft to go through, and you can turn that on to help get all the fumes out.
And we can
smell.
see how big that 400-gallon tank is there. It goes all the way from the floor almost up to the roof.
Yeah, almost to the ceiling. Yeah, that lasts, it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm fertilizing a lot of trees, that lasts about 2 to 3. I want to say like a quarter of the day, and it doesn't take long with a. You can just hook it up right here to a hydrant, and
Okay.
the hydrant is very quick filling this up. You can have this filled up in about, I want to say 15-20 minutes on a low pressure,
Right.
Because you don't want to blow anything if you have it too high. But yeah, I love this thing. It's so much better than the other rig I was using before. I would say definitely you can have more coverage of properties. Like I said, with how small it is, how quickly you can fill the reservoir, and it's just probably, like I said, 15 or 20 minutes that you're down to get some water, and then you're right back at it. And I definitely think you can get more profits, more done with this than the bigger ones. Yeah, it's just all around great vehicle.